Good afternoon, everybody. Today, I want to talk about details. And this is kind of for a couple of different groups of people. So if you are going to be building a home or are building a home, or if you're on the other side of it and you are the new home salesperson that is working with the client, you've got to make sure that you're getting all of the details. And I just had a little story I'll share of something that happened today. So we're building our Parade of Homes model right now, and there's a lot of custom features with the home. And if you're not specific and detailed about everything that's going in the home, everything that's outside on the exterior of the home, there's going to be questions that come up. So today, we are using a new kind of siding. It's a really cool siding. It looks like stained wood, but it's actually a two-tone paint on a wood look composite siding. It's a LP composite siding product. And that product is going to be surrounding a few windows, and we're not using that color on the entire house. The rest of the house has white siding. So we picked a trim color for the windows that are within the white siding, but then the windows within the cool wood look siding weren't specified on the selections. I didn't let the sider know what we wanted to do there as far as a color, so I had to go today to Sherwin-Williams and pick out a color that matched that siding that we were using and get that to him. So if I would have had that in the selections, if I would have picked that color prior to us starting the house and had that recorded on the selections form, I would have never gotten the phone call from my dad or the sider telling me that I got to get over there right away to get the cider, get Bruce his paint that he needs to paint around the windows there. So there's all kinds of things that come up during building, and you know, myself on the sales side of it, you get a lot of phone calls from who's ever running the job. You know, I don't have detailed information on what they want to do here with their range hood above the stove. Other than in the building agreement, maybe it says that it's going to be a stone range hood, and on the blueprint, maybe there's some type of a dimension showing the space that needs to be allowed for it. But unless there's an actual drawing with dimensions on it and details, then the carpenters aren't going to know how to frame that. And what's going to happen, it's going to be your day off, it'll be my day off, and that's when the phone call always comes in. The carpenter's here, they're here to build the hood, they don't know what to do. And then it's panic time. They're there right now, they need to know exactly what to do right now. Had I planned that out properly before we started the home, with us as a builder, and with anybody who's building a home or selling a home, it is a great idea to make sure. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. So it's a great idea to make sure, I had a bad connection, your selections are finalized and your blueprints are finalized with detail. You can't have too much detail when it comes to building a home and specifying what's going to be on the inside of that home and what's going to be on the outside of that home. You can never have enough detail. And the more detail that you get, whether you are the customer who is having the home built for you, or you are the salesperson that is working with the customer prior to construction, you can never have enough details. So when it comes to things like built-ins or custom range hoods or a custom siding color, or if you want certain things on the outside of the home painted a different color than the siding, anything like that that's out of the norm that could be a question, make sure that you've got it detailed, because it's going to come up at some point and it's going to be a time that's inconvenient for you. So let's flip around onto the other side. If you're the customer who's having a home built and your salesperson didn't get the details that were needed, and maybe you didn't give them all of the details that you should have, you're going to get that same phone call. The expediter, the guy who's running the job, is going to be out on site, and they're going to come into a situation where they need to know what to do. And this is how it always works in construction. There's never a heads up phone call saying, we're going to be doing this next week, and we noticed that you don't have this specified, so we're just wondering what you want us to do there. Usually that's not the case. Usually it's so-and-so's here right now, and we really need to know what we're going to do right now so that we can keep the job moving. So it's my person as a salesperson, as a sales agent. It's your job as a new construction sales agent to get all of those details while you're putting the blueprints together and then while you're doing the selections meeting. And the same goes for the survey work for the house. You know, it's just as important to have proper drainage and the garage on the correct side of the house, the home located in the correct position on the lot. All of that is just as important as everything else within the home and for the selections that are made with the home. So when it comes to the survey, when it comes to the blueprints, when it comes to the selections, make sure you're as detailed as possible. And I'll just hit that one more time. You can never have enough details. If you're a new construction salesperson and there are going to be things like a custom range hood, or maybe you're going to do a tray ceiling that's a little bit different than the norm, or maybe you want to do something special with the windows and how you have them spaced. Well, make sure all of that gets onto the blueprints. Make sure that there's detailed drawings on the blueprints for that. Because what will happen is when the framers are out there framing the house, if there aren't details on there, they're going to have questions, and that could delay things. Same with the trim carpenter. If there's finishes that are custom and the trim carpenter needs dimensions, he needs drawings, he may need to meet with you on site just to make sure that he knows he's doing it correctly and only needs to do it once. That's what they need to keep everything running smoothly. Details, details, details. So I think that's about all. I just wanted to give a brief little talk on details. So whether you're building or a salesperson, make sure you've got the details in the blueprints and the selections. And I'm not sure how all the builders do this, but ourselves, before we go in for the building permit, we make sure we've got a full set of blueprints. We make sure that everything is in writing. If you're not sure about it, Ron, you're absolutely right. You've definitely got experience with that. With the building contract, be as detailed as possible. And I am guilty of this and have been guilty with this. I used to do this thing that, this was back when I was a rookie, but I would write something into the contract. You know, the client wanted the front door that was in the model home that we were sitting in. And so I would write into the contract, same front door as model. Well, by the time this guy's house is being built, we're in the next model. And so my dad or who was ever ordering the door is wondering, okay, you want a front door like the one that was in the model? Well, which model? Make sure you got everything in writing, have the model numbers, be detailed with everything, because then you don't get those phone calls. And I hate getting those phone calls. My dad is the one that orders everything at our company. You probably have somebody else that you'll be held accountable to, but I hate getting the phone calls, and it's my own fault, but I hate getting those phone calls. Okay, so he wants the front door that's like the one at the model? Well, which model are we talking about here? This gives me no information. And then, again, it always happens on your day off. So then you've got to take time away from what you're doing. You've got to find the notes that you had, the emails, remember the conversation. It's just easy to do it up front. It's easier to keep up than it is to catch up. It's such a true saying. So anyways, us as a builder, we make sure the blueprints are finalized. We make sure that the selections are finalized. We make sure that the home is staked out and the survey is finalized before we will go in for the building permit. So those are just some tips. If you're a new construction salesperson, make sure you've got all those details in order. Make sure everything's finalized before the project starts, because it's going to be easier on the client, it's going to be easier on the builder, and it's going to be easier on you, the new home sales agent. Your company is going to love you for making sure you've got all that stuff in order. Thank you, Ron. I appreciate that. Oh, yeah, I should actually, I do like to usually have my glasses off when I'm talking so that you can see the sincerity and honesty in my eyes, but It was a sunny day today. It's getting a little overcast, so I can lose them now. Definitely starting to ramble. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for the comments. Ron, I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Kevin, how you doing? That'll do it. Just remember, get all of the details up front, get them documented, get everything specified, and it'll make things a lot easier for everybody involved. That'll do it. I appreciate this. I'm going to post this on YouTube as well, so if you find this video helpful or useful, please share and subscribe. Thank you. Take care.